Jack, great win. Um, how far have you come in 2 nights since you lose 8 games in a row to Loxonen, and it looks like it could be a tough tournament for you? You turn that thing around, come out against Grigor, go down 4-1 in the third. What's different now that's allowing you to stay in these matches and fight through these things, and you're playing like a top 10 player in the world, so what's different?
I mean, just a lot of work on it, you know. I think the tennis has always been around that, area. Always things to improve, definitely on court, on the practice court and everything with my team. But, yeah, we've just worked a lot. We worked really hard, and, in the off season, during practices and training sessions, put myself in situations, like that where, we'd play a game where I start, down in a game, or I'd do a drill, that I may not like as much or whatever, but, put myself in the situations where I'm not, the most happy, but, still find a way through it. And, so I think those moments are definitely paying off, and yeah, just a lot of talks with everyone on my team, and daily, and just making sure that the head's clear going into these matches, and yeah, if you put your put one foot in front of the other and keep your head down, things like tonight can happen.
It's fine, you've had all that work done, but obviously matches produce confidence. So the legacy of what you're doing now, how much of that has really been from the start of this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that starts in November, December. The work I did then, translates to 2 titles so far, and winning matches like tonight. And yeah, I mean, without the confidence that you build in the off season, not only mentally but physically, and tennis-wise, all of it together, gives you that confidence to start a season. Everyone's eager to start in January in Australia. Everyone wants to get off to a great start and win a lot of matches if you start the year, but you still got to go out and produce and do it. And yeah, so for me to put in the work I did in the off season, then go out and have the start that I've had so far, it only gives me that much more confidence on court.
The game where you were love 40 and Grigor had the match points, how did you get out of that? What were you saying to yourself?
Just praying I hit some good serves and forehands. I think everyone knows what I want. Everyone, had an idea what I wanted to do on those points. I was able to hit 2 good serves the first 2 points, and the 30-40 forehand I had, I just said go for it. It was I've hit it thousands, millions of times in my life probably, and I've said to start the year, if I'm going to go out, if I'm going to lose to someone, it's going to be on my terms, and the tennis that I play. I'm not going to go out and play a match where I'm playing defensive or not my game necessarily. So 30-40, just grip and rip, and I was able to hit a good one.
Jack, the point of the match might have been the match to the point where you broke back in the third, and the volley that you hit, and it just seems like a lot of what you're doing now is born of very soft hands and very deft touch at the net. How much has the doubles success that you've had lent toward the single success that you're having now?
Yeah, I can attribute a lot of it. I think I've said this multiple times over since the doubles has kind of been a hot topic in my press and with media and stuff. I think anytime you can play deep into a draw, you can hold a trophy above your head, you can give that congratulatory speech at the end of a week, whether it's singles, doubles, mixed doubles even, in Rio, that gives me confidence, doing something like that. But yeah, to play through a doubles draw, no matter the level, like I said, to hold a trophy only gives you that much more confidence on the tennis court in general. You're still serving, you're returning, you're moving around the net, you're just fine-tuning a lot of things in your game. And so, yeah, I mean, when I'm playing singles and I like to be aggressive, I like to come forward, I feel very comfortable at net. Stuff like that can happen, on break point, or in general. I thought I had a very great net game tonight overall, and, had a lot of great volleys, and, came forward at the right times, and he broke me, then in the third with a good passing shot, and I was able to get it back in the same type of situation. So it pays off.
What are your thoughts on Manik Chiziri? I mean, obviously, it's not an Andy Murray or a Stan Wawrinka or Cilic or anything like that. So it's a big opportunity, obviously. But talk about playing him.
Yeah, I mean, you can say big opportunity, or you can, look at the results that have happened so far this year. Murray's out first round here, and Roger in Dubai, me in Mexico. There's, I think there's, a trending pattern, I think, on the tour now where, any guy in the top 100, top 120 for that matter, if they're on fire and you're not on point that day, I think anything can happen on tour now. And I think all the guys are kind of noticing that now as well. And so, same goes for tomorrow. On paper, yeah, I may be ranked higher and, supposed to be maybe a better player in whatever sense, but if I don't, come out and play, great tennis and play my A game, then I won't be playing the next day.
Is that a change that you see on the tour, that more guys think they can knock off the top guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think, for the past how many years, definitely since I've been on tour, and obviously before that, those top guys were dominating every tournament. I think, guys would go on court and not really feel like they had a chance, against them. I think you go on court now, whoever it is, and like I said, I think if you go on court and you think, you're seeing the ball well, you're playing well that night, I think everyone has confidence to, give themselves a chance or put themselves in position to, beat those guys.
For this being a good year for you already, a couple of titles and inside the top 20, did you set this year as a goal to break into the top 20, and what kind of goals are remaining for you?
I don't really do number. I mean, I obviously have, in my own head, where I want to be, but, I don't sit out, in December and be like, you got to reach this point by this time and all that. I kind of, like I said earlier, just build that confidence in the off season. Put myself in position to win matches, hopefully win tournaments. That was one of my, I guess if you want to say goals, yeah, one of my motivations this year was to win some more singles titles. I had my first one in 2015, and I think when you win one, it makes you want a lot more. And I put myself in position last year a few times in finals and wasn't able to get it done. It doesn't leave a great taste in your mouth, but I was able to kind of turn it around this year and start out and have two already. So like I said about in Houston in 2015, when you get one, now you get two, you get three, you kind of get obsessed with them and you kind of want more and more.
Speaking of goals, what are your goals for American tennis? You're the big dog in American tennis right now, at least according to Martin Blackman. He certainly seems extremely proud of what you're doing as an individual, and those of us that are watching it as a whole love what we're seeing. How much pride do you take not only in what you're doing for American tennis, but what some of these other young guys are doing too?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think as the American tennis fans are, they're used to champions and Grand Slam winners, and we've had an amazing track record, in U.S. tennis of amazing champions and players pretty much any year, all the time, and so for them it's maybe been more of a drought since Andy won the U.S. Open, and I think Marty did a great job of staying up there around top 10. Isner did an unbelievable job of keeping us relevant. Without him, we weren't, we were barely around the top 10, top 20. But I think this new wave we have is very good. I personally, I didn't realize I was the top American until I saw it on social media after a match. It wasn't something that I, like I said, set out to do. I do take massive pride in it now. Knowing it, and I know all the guys behind me. Everyone kind of wants that spot, but kind of just you compartmentalize, put it aside a little bit, and you just focus on what you're doing. At the end of the day, it's an individual sport. Everyone's kind of out, after each other, but also on the flip side of that, we're all really good friends, and we all push each other, and we're very competitive with each other, and we played Davis Cup together and all that. So, I think there's a little bit of both, and I think as a cluster of Americans, I think we have a lot of success hopefully coming ahead.